Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's your favorite couple, is it? Maybe? A little bit?
Hopefully.
Oh yeah. Well, if it's your first time visiting us, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We have lots of videos, so check them out. And, you know.
Coming live from the kitchen.
You know.
It's the
Night
Talk.
Oh,
Jesus, you don't
Nice.
even know it. So
Anyways.
tonight our topic is how can we evolve as a race?
As
Yeah.
black people.
As black people. So we're black.
This is a tough topic still.
It is.
Okay, I think it's important for growth. Super important topic, and let's get to it.
One of the things that we're going to be pushing with the channel is having these controversial topics and having these controversial discussions because they need to happen. I shouldn't have to be sitting down watching Dr. Phil, The View, and those stuff to see other races talking about it, and there's nobody there talking about it to my people.
Mm-hmm.
So creating that safe space for us to have these discussions is super important. And
We need to address it. I
yeah.
think.
So we personally came up with four
About
four topics. So not topics, four subtopics that we wanted to talk about.
By no means necessary we're experts.
We're not.
Okay, this is just our point of view. You can agree, disagree, respectfully. Let us know in the comments, but don't think we're any experts or anything.
Because we're
Right.
not.
So we're gonna touch on we have to teach financial literacy, and the main thing I'm gonna speak on that is credit.
Okay.
Right, we're in a society where it's super credit driven, right? But yet still we're not taught how to build credit.
Mhm.
So now we get into our mid 20s, early 30s, and we're struggling to get credit.
Right.
Now you need someone to co-sign to buy a car, to buy a house, to buy anything that you need that involves credit. If you don't have a good credit, it's either you get a co-signer or you get a super high interest,
Very true.
right? So now we could eradicate all of that so easily because, say for us, right? Whenever MJ reaches that age of that we think is smart enough to give him a credit card,
Mhm.
we can easily give MJ an authorized user card, and what that does is his credit reflects ours, right? And we can limit him. Instead of having him have access to all this credit,
I thought you wanted to do a secure credit card.
it is similar. So you could do a secured card for him, which is like $300.
Mhm.
So he can't use
It
too
teaches
much,
him how to stay within
Manage.
his budget. Yeah.
right? Or we can give him an authorized card and limit him the same way.
Mhm.
So, with that being said, by the time MJ reaches our age, you're already in the 800 credit score.
Which is so important
You see what I'm saying?
to get a house,
To get a house,
to
everything.
get anything.
And you won't need experience to do anything.
Right.
So, going forward, they're not teaching these stuff in school.
That's
So,
exactly what I wanted to
You
say.
see what I'm saying? So
As-
we have to teach ourselves
Yeah.
how to do these things.
As parents, as a nation, we can't depend on the schools to teach our children everything that they need to know to be
Mhm.
successful in life. There's a lot of things that we're going to have to fill in the gap, or we're going to have to step up and say, hey, I know you're not getting taught this, but you need to know this. You
Yeah.
need to know even something as simple as changing a tire on a car. I mean, that's out of the financial literacy aspect, but
Yeah.
it's just an example of things that we can't depend on modern day society to teach our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And as a nation, as a race, these are things we need to be conscious of, that other races are getting taught these things by their family,
Right.
and ours is just being left to fend for themselves.
And when you talk about other races, right? The next thing I was saying right here, guys are flexing a full suit of Gucci. You don't even have a life insurance. Does that make sense? Right? Now you come on this earth, you don't leave nothing for your generation to come. So now they're gonna have to struggle from the bottom where you started and you left nothing. They have to struggle again. You can talk all you want about white people and their kids have no manners, blah blah blah, but they're smart. They got old money passing down.
Some of them.
Most of them, because everyone I've known.
Some of them.
Everyone I've
some
known.
form of inheritance is always passed down, whether it's a house, whether it's money, whether it's stock, whether it's they always think about their next generation and their future generations. So they always set things up in for that. Personally, before having kids, I never saw the purpose of having life insurance. When I had MJ, I know my mom had just taken out a policy on myself, my brothers, and I think she always had one.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just had MJ. It's just like, you need a life insurance, and I'm like, why am I paying? I think it was like how much, $14 a month or something.
Wasn't
like that.
much, yeah.
Yeah, why am I paying $14 a month to this company? So in case I die, someone gets money. Like, does that make sense? Isn't it better for me to just save this $14 every month? And yeah, it was pretty ignorant of me to say that. Because in the long run, I wasn't thinking about my son. I wasn't thinking, should anything happen to me, now my son has to come up with the cost of burial. Now my son has to, well, hopefully this is way down the line. Now
I got you, don't worry.
Yeah. They put me in the ground.
But
yeah, and it's like all those things, and it's like I wasn't thinking ahead. I wasn't thinking 5 steps ahead. I was just thinking presently in my current position. This doesn't make sense to me. Not that my son could, whenever I do pass, my son will be sitting on a good amount of money. Whether he needs it or not, it's still like my legacy to him, that here you go, your mom's not here, but I'm leaving you with this. I hope you can take care of yourself, or helps you to be wherever it is you want to be.
Yeah. Next thing, I see a lot of guys, man. And by no means, bro, don't think I'm hating on you, okay? I'm not hating. How can you drive a BMW, a Benz, and you drive it to a parking lot at an apartment? It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And some people, like, again, you can disagree with me, but me not hate on nobody. I'm not flexing or anything, right? But it's a part of financial literacy, right? You're paying for a car note that's $800 a month. That's probably close to half of what you could pay for a mortgage, right?
In certain states, that is a mortgage.
In certain states, it is a mortgage. Which one makes more sense? You can flex for the girls, or you can buy a house, or you can start building equity. You see what I'm saying? The next couple of years, you sell it, you make a $50,000, you flip that again. But a car depreciates in value
as soon as it leaves the lot.
As soon as it leaves the lot. Who do you have to prove? What do you have to prove? It's a message.
Now, it's okay to like nice things.
That's
because,
okay.
I feel like, again, as a nation, we like nice things. We like the Gucci's. We like the BMWs. We like the Benz. We like all that stuff. I don't know why we're so flashy, but we just love the flashiness of it.
I think because we're in captive for so long.
I don't know.
We got to show like, hey.
I don't know.
And the thing, we flex on each other.
Because I can speak as a Guyanese, like, we love gold. Like, we be walking around with chains on chains on chains. And it's like, I mean, back in the day, gold wasn't that expensive.
But it's a cultural thing.
It's a cultural thing.
You see what I'm saying? Like, Gucci and all this stuff, that's not cultural.
That's true.
You see?
That's true.
Like, it really has no value. Like, you see some Balenciaga, but like, that's for that another trash.
But in the sense of, some of these rappers that are getting jewelry, big chains, and big stuff, I mean, diamonds and those stuff will eventually appreciate in value. So it could be a form of investment-ish.
Not your Gucci belt. Buy a house.
Buy a house.
Buy a house.
Not everybody can afford to buy a house. So this is how we're trying to say, think 5 steps ahead.
But it's common sense. Not everybody can buy a house, but you can save towards it. Like, you have to start somewhere. If you have an 800 payment monthly, it sets you back even further. It's
What
gonna
can
take
you
you way
save?
longer.
I mean, unless you're making like a good 4,000 a month, because 800 won't hurt you then. But if you're just making, let's say, 2,000 every 2 weeks, what am I saying?
Math is not our favorite subject. I'm sorry, guys.
1 minus 1 equals.
Equals 35.
But even if you're making $4,000 a month, 800 of that
Oh gosh,
is
you're having
going.
my hair flip flop. Oh God, sorry people.
800 of that.
They'll get. I should have married a white man. God knows, because he would have told me, "Babe, your hair is not looking cute right now.
Lucky.
Not you sit down here at my hair flip flop for more than half of the video." And
I go and drink water and mind my business. But anyways, it's a real thing. We have to be educated. We have to start having multiple streams of income, like what we're trying here, right? Invest in stocks. A lot of people, oh, I'm not into stocks, I'm not into this, but that's why you only have one stream of income. Then you see the next man, again, buying nice things. I'm not just saying you can't, right? But you don't know how to get it.
it's also, it's against my religion to play in stocks.
No matter.
I'm not throwing shots at your mom because, honest to God, I love you, but it's a real thing. People will be like, it's against my religion to invest. It's against my religion to gamble, and things like that. But they're working for companies that are doing these things. So in the long run, do you want to be working for someone for the rest of your life? I mean, that's okay if it's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Or would you like to have multiple streams of income where you don't have to work for anybody? Or if you want to, you can do that as a choice.
Exactly. So, I mean, education. Every time people hear education, they think it's a degree. You see what I'm saying? That's not education, fam. It doesn't just go towards a piece of paper. It's whether you're learning the stock market or you're getting a trade. It's a form of education. If you flip houses, right? You have to get the knowledge in order to succeed in the market. So everything boils down to education. Get out there, read some books, yeah, because they do say if you want to hide something from black people, put it in books. I don't like reading books. I'm a little hypocrite. That's all right.
We also live in an era of OERs, which is open end resources,
Yeah.
where everything is on the web. Everything is free to your fingertips. You don't even have to have a computer. You can even be on your phone scrolling. There's lots of sites that offer free courses where you learn about whatever it is you want to learn about.
Khan Academy.
Khan Academy. There's like literally sites that will teach you psychology, that will teach you these things. But it's just that you're not getting a degree.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But you're getting the knowledge. And that's what we're here telling you. You need the knowledge in order to be successful. You may not need the piece of paper saying that I graduated from Fayette State University. You might not need a diploma or a degree saying that, but you can have the same knowledge. Someone could be walking around the street with that same amount of knowledge as someone with a master's.
Hell yeah.
And that's okay. As long as you are satisfied with that and you're happy with that and you're working towards a goal that is going to set yourself up financially stable for, your life.
This next topic, subtopic, whatever it is, if you're going to feel offended, turn off the camera right now.
I mean, you got to say it before you say that. It's literally to stop having, as a race, stop having adult expectations for your children, underage children, or even young adult children. Growing up with single moms or single parents, it might be customary that once you reach working age, whether they'll be 16 or above, that now you're going to help out in the house. And not to say that there's anything wrong with that, because sometimes, you are teaching them, that's another part of teaching them financial responsibility and financial literacy. However, it should not be their sole responsibility to be helping out in the house financially. We need to stop burdening our youth with adult pressure.
Yeah.
They need to experience life.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, our generation probably was, a generation above us probably was burdened with these expectations. And moving forward, that's what we're here trying to not do to our kids.
That's a cultural thing, though.
It's a cultural
Because
thing.
in Jamaica,
I won't just call it a cultural thing because it happened in America. It happens
in the culture of North America, in Jamaica, picnic sole purpose is to go to school. You do your house chores and go school. You know work, none at all.
really
None at all.
interesting.
Only picnic you see hustle with them parents unless them have it real hard in a life.
Interesting.
But your parent them do everything they can to send you to school to get your education because that's the only way out in a Jamaica.
Interesting.
We don't work. So that's just a North American mentality. It's a mess about back to education. This kid is a senior in high school. I don't know how the system is. A senior is a top or sophomore, whatever.
Senior.
Whatever it is, right?
Boy, you ain't American.
This picnic board for graduate and you have the picnic at work. Right? How can that kid focus? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It boils down to like education. Like we can't expect them to match up on the same level.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is why we as parents we have to do. Trust me. Our parents probably did some things they don't want to tell us. Just
Which
so
they
we
have
can,
said.
You see what I'm saying? Just so we can go to school and be educated. So it all ties into each other, and the next part we're gonna leap into is kicking out the kids out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Which ties back to the previous video, generational curses. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you kick this kid out of the house with nothing. You gave him nothing. No money, no stocks, nothing. What do you expect them to do?
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to let that boy or girl become a menace to society because they're going to have to fend for themselves. So now they turn to the crack. They turn to robbing, killing. You see what I'm saying? Becoming a stripper. I'm not knocking it, but I'm just saying.
Because you know they make a lot of money.
They make a lot of money. Strippers make a lot of money.
Yeah, if I was
But-
single, had no kids, and I had a different life, I would still be a stripper
I'm just talking.
in Atlanta.
Just show me your stripper skills. Anyways, real talk. Don't kick your kids out of the house. It's very toxic, you know, and you're gonna make their life 10 times harder than before doing that. Especially that you don't give them nothing on this earth.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Like,
And that comes into in North America that some parents put bills in their kids' name from a very young age because maybe they have bad credit, so they put their kid's name on the bill, thinking. I mean, they don't even think about I'm building my kid's credit. They just think that child has no credit history, so they'll get a better rate than me. And essentially, what you're doing is you're setting that child up for failure. And because if you're not financially stable for yourself, or you're not financially literate yourself, you're not going to make the wisest and smartest decisions with someone else's credit, which is your child.
yeah.
So these are things where having these expectations for our children, where it's like, we need to cut it out. We need to let kids be kids. We need to let them make mistakes, let them learn from their mistakes. Yes,
Guide
we
them.
must teach them and we
Yeah.
must guide them. But at the end of the day, we did some stupid and foolish things ourselves, and they're gonna have to do it this too.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it.
I
And
must say though, the 90s babies, you see I'm rocking my 90s shit.
yeah, we have a lot of
We're doing good.
supporters that are in the 80s too.
80s, yeah.
It's all the same
I'm talking about this generation coming up. We
as
did-
parents. Sorry, yeah.
as parents, we do a lot of good. You see what I'm saying? Like we're reconstructing everything, the way we parent, how educated we are in life.
No, I'm gonna touch on that after.
You know, go ahead.
Yeah, let's talk about all the ways we can help them, and then pat ourselves on the back. The third thing that we said was your health. Your health is so important, and I'm not talking about physical health. I'm talking about mental health, spiritual health.
Yes.
Every aspect comes into one to make you whole. And in our community, we have a stigma with mental health,
Yes.
hands down.
Yes.
You're not. You don't have no schizophrenia. You just have demons inside of you.
Postpartum depression, what that? A week.
Postpartum depression. No, you hate your child. Why you hate your child? I don't hate my child. You know what I mean? It's like we have this stigma that we need to address and we need to cut out. We need to allow our younger generation and our generation, doesn't matter how old you are, we just need to acknowledge that people are suffering and find ways we can help them or point them in the direction that they can receive these help if we can't do it ourselves, because we're not trained, we're not professionals.
We're in a super depressed society.
We can't help. We're in a society where things are just
Suicide,
constantly thrown
left,
at you.
right, center,
I just literally watched on Instagram a mom. First of all, it's super heartbreaking. Her child was 12, posting a whole bunch of pictures of her child in the hospital. He died. He hung himself from bullying. And it's like, I always get caught up in it. I'm like, how do you, like, you know, you're so young. But it's like, these things are constantly on you. Like, if you're not dressed a certain way, if you don't look a certain way. And in our community, it's so, like, how do I explain it? Like, we're judged by everything. We're judged by our hair. We're judged by our skin. Yeah. We're judged by our body shape, our body composition. We're judged by the way we speak. And it's like, it will mentally drain you. Because at the moment, I'm speaking pretty normal. Should I be around a room with... Okay, I can't use me as an example because I still talk the same way. you, when you speak to your friends or when you speak to me, you have a patois accent. But when you go out and you're talking to Americans, you have an American accent. And then when you go to Canada, you put on a Canada accent because you just
gotta talk like the man them.
You're just an overall fraud. But what I'm saying
like
is,
the man them,
what I'm saying is, you feel the pressure. You feel all this stuff coming in, and it's like that's our mental health that we need to protect, because mental health is so important. Mental health plays a factor into our physical health. Go to the gym, work out. I'm really not the best advocate for it.
You're doing well,
but I'm working on it, and
right.
I feel good.
Eat right.
The eating good,
foods,
man. The eating good, the working out.
Jeez.
It's like I can feel my body changing, and it's like certain foods. I look at it now, and I'm just like,
disgusting.
That's not gonna work for me. And it's like I'm thinking long term, because in 2-3 years, I want to be able to run down the street with my kids. Like, I want to be able to do things. He's super athletic. I want to be able to just go and... I want to go to Jamaica. I've been to Jamaica, but I want to go to Dunn's River Fall. And he's like, oh, it's so steep to go up and this and that. I want to do it. I want to walk up Blue Mountain. I want to hike up Blue Mountain. Like,
good luck.
Those are, like I'm saying, you see, those are the things that I want to do. And that's all part of me working on my physical health. That a lot of us need to work on. Look, watch, be careful of what you're eating, what you're putting into your body. Your body is a temple, literally.
Yes.
You only have one body for your whole entire life.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. How much times I say I want BBL, and it's like, at the end of the day, my outside might look good, but my inside will be horrible if I don't change the way I eat, if I don't change the way I look at certain foods.
Yeah.
And that's very... passionate. It's right there.
You know, you can speak from experience. You've been through it. You've been through postpartum, and again, this is where we need to have an educated environment. You see how everything leads back to education? Because just because I know a look at things here and there, I was able to pick up that you're going through this, right? And with me picking up that you're going through the postpartum depression, I was able to walk you through it.
Yeah.
Help you along the way. Even when you try to play it off, I'm like, yo, you look like you're lost in yourself. You see what I'm saying? And look, my mom didn't even realize that. She's in a depression.
Your mom knew I was sad, but she just didn't know.
Well, she didn't know how deep it was.
She didn't know how deep it was. And she was seeing me every day.
But it's like, we have to educate ourselves on all aspects of life. You know?
And our final piece of how we can evolve as Black people, which is like super relevant to us. Hello.
Very relevant.
But in general, like, this is not just about us. Like, it's about supporting each other. That's just what it is. We are criticized, as I mentioned before, we're criticized for everything. The way we look, the way we act, the way we speak,
Yeah.
everything we're criticized about from other races and ourselves. Ease up.
Mm-hmm.
Ease up. When you look at me, I'm you. You're me. I look at him. Yes, my husband, but it's my brother. That's nasty. But you know.
Ew, that got nasty. Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean. When I see another black female, that's my sister. That's why I love the culture that we started. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think about a couple years ago it started. Where now when you see a fellow black woman, hey sis, I love it. I love it.
That's dope.
It's like, hey sis, how are you doing? And when you talk to each other, you refer to each other as sis and these things. I just love it because it's a way of acknowledging I see you and I see me in you.
Mm-hmm.
And we are together in this.
We're one.
We are one. That's
We're
why I
one.
said you're like my brother in the
Yes.
sense of like,
Oh, anyways, Jamaica goes about out of many one people. We are one. You know, and this, we're supporting each other physically, mentally, emotionally, right? And again, you see your brother, your sister have a business, support them.
mm-hmm.
This is a big market. You know, like in Jamaica, when you come into foreign, you think about America, it's a big apple. Everybody can get a bite.
Mm-hmm.
So I say, there's so many different streams. Again, we have to be educated. You know what I mean? And we want to support a lot of black-owned businesses. So drop your business in the comments.
And let us know what it is that
Let us know
you're
what you
doing,
do.
what your business is about.
That's what I'm saying.
We would love to do something with you, hopefully.
Yeah.
So leave a comment down there, or if you have us on our Facebook, which is Night Lovers,
Messenger me.
send us a
Amen.
message and we will figure something out.
And at the same time, help us grow. You see what I say? Like, we're putting all the contents. We have a lot of good contents, you know. But again, with time, everything will evolve. You know what I mean? But we just gotta understand that we are our brother and sister's keeper. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You're black. No matter how Shanika lighter than me, two of we black, regardless. You know? And we just need to know, say, yo, we are one. You know? There's nothing different.
Mm-hmm. So
There's
keep.
nothing different.
So, Makara had mentioned earlier.
Mhm.
We had a little taggle back and forth earlier before we made this video. I was saying, as a race, as much as we evolved, we haven't evolved in a lot of ways, and he was adamant that we have evolved,
I think we have. I think we have.
and I agree.
I think we have.
But I see there's a lot of things that we do now as a race that generations above would never have done, in a bad way. Like we've kind of put shame on on the struggles they have put up with when they were going through their struggles, envisioning the generations below. There's things that we're doing now that they never would have envisioned.
Like the promiscuity, stuff like that? Like,
Yeah, that how we speak. Sis, great. N-word, calling our women bees and things like that. And
Yeah.
it's like how we refer to each other, how we treat each other.
Mhm.
It gotta stop. And that's why I said, I think would our ancestors be proud of us? You damn right they would.
So you're saying we should increase our vocabulary,
we should increase our vocab.
Okay.
We should
change
the
it.
way we acknowledge each other, the way we carry ourselves. It's a big thing too.
Mhm.
It's a very big thing.
Hey, that's a can of worms they're gonna open right there.
How we carry ourselves. I'm not gonna go into it, but
But if you love this video, share it, like, comment, subscribe. Help us grow. You know, helping us grow is gonna help you.
giveaways.
More giveaways. So